Hello everyone, back to today's fourth and final video. We're doing the 13th Christmas update for today's fourth and final video. So we're up to update number 13, as I say, for Christmas. We're halfway through the Christmas updates now. And we're counting down to Christmas with the long-range CFS V2 model. So in a moment I'm going to talk you through the midday run of the CFS V2 from yesterday. And we'll see what that has to say about Christmas. Very shortly. Just to say, it's been a massive day of updates at Gas Office today. So we started with the third and final seasonal model roundup for winter of 2019-2020. That video is now on the winter updates page, and there's a written summary going over everything that we discussed in the video. Again, 14 long-range models together, see what they're all showing. That's ahead of tomorrow's winter forecast, of course. We've also released a week ahead forecast, as well as on a Saturday, your week ahead look ahead, a week to 10-day video update as well. And now we are up to the Christmas update. So it has been a very, very busy weekend. Very, very busy day. Indeed, and a really busy weekend too, because tomorrow, as I say, we've got winter forecast coming up, and there'll be a live stream on YouTube between 5 and 6 o'clock talking about that winter forecast. So I just hope you're enjoying all of the videos and the content. Gareth's Christmas shop is open, so if you've got any Christmas shop to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, then please go to the Christmas shop page and then either click through the Amazon banners or use the search widget to search out whatever items you would like to buy for Christmas. That will get you to Amazon anyway. Because you're going from Gas Office to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you are buying. So a big thank you to everybody for doing that again for Gas Office this season. A little bit of a tradition, I think, now for people to do their Amazon Christmas shopping via Gas Office. And as I said, big thank you to everybody for doing that. You've still got plenty of time to get your Christmas presents to you. And just huge thank you to everybody for doing that. Right, so we're going to go to Metro Seal, and we're going to talk about the model, of course. It's FSV2 9-monthly forecast at metroseal.fr. Midday run, generated midday yesterday, as well as a 24-hour delay on these charts coming through. We use a midday run. It's run 4 times a day, midnight, 6 o'clock in the morning, midday, and 6 in the evening. We use a midday run for no particular reason other than that's the one that we choose. It shouldn't make any difference in terms of the overall outcomes. It's just easier when we compare back to past updates to be able to see whether we're picking up trends. And that's what we're looking for. Of course, we're still only looking for trends here. It's too far away from Christmas to be able to put any detail at all onto this period. So we're looking to see the trend within the model and see what the overall sort of picture is in update after update after update. Up until the last update, the trend around Christmas generally seemed to be quite dry and cold. Not particularly snowy, but certainly quite cold from frost. The last update was a much more unsettled update for the days of Christmas. Rather stormy, actually. We'll see whether that's maintained for tonight's update or whether it will go to something drier and cold. We haven't had a very cold Christmas yet. We normally get at least one very cold Christmas showing up with beastly easterly winds. We haven't had one of those yet, so we'll see whether this one is the one, shall we? Right, we'll get on with it then. We're going to start off on the 10th of December. Looking rather stormy, actually, on this 13th Christmas update for the 10th of December. A deep area of low pressure, 975 millibars, is sweeping in across the country. That's been gale force winds and heavy rain. Quite cold on the northern edge of that low. Will probably be some snow up across Scotland. That brings real severe gales there through the 10th of December across much of England and Wales. That is a very, very serious blow indeed. That low gets out of the way then, and we go into something rather colder as we get through to the 12th of December. This is the day of the general election. Of course, we talked about this in today's third week 10-day video update. There are hints of a cold snap around the 12th of December, around the day of a general election. The CFS is seeing that potential as well as that low pressure dives southwards. Excuse me, it pulls in a colder northerly to northeasterly wind, and that could bring wintry showers to particularly northern and eastern parts of the country. Heading up towards the middle of December, this is how things are looking. So we're trying to re-establish a westerly flow actually here on the 14th of December, and that does break through by the time we get through to the 15th. That's returning us back to wet and windy weather. So we're up to the middle of December now, and we're looking classically wet and windy with low pressure driving in gale force winds and probably quite a lot of heavy rain too. Beyond the middle of the month, it stays very unsettled, very stormy indeed. 955 millibar area of low pressure there on the 18th of December, just to the north of Scotland. That's very, very deep area of low pressure indeed. That's bringing in heavy rain, gale force winds, probably cold enough for wintry showers up across Scotland. And also really stormy indeed as we go beyond the middle of December. Moving up towards Christmas, it's starting to turn less stormy, still unsettled, and it's beginning to go colder as well. The jet stream is beginning to dive southwards with this area of low pressure. It's diving into southern parts of Europe. And that is pulling very cold air into much of central, northern, and eastern Europe with it, by the way. So this is turning really cold and wintry across many central parts of Europe running up towards Christmas. For us, we're up to the 20th of December. We're bringing in quite a cold northwesterly wind, probably wintry showers, snow showers, I should say, in northwestern parts of the country, and a rather seasonable feel. That's the 21st, and we're beginning to reach high pressure in from off the Atlantic there. Within quite cold air, so that's turning drier. Probably snow showers running down the east coast. The main thing is that it's colder and about high pressure, where there will be risk of hard overnight frost, possibly some freezing fog. Right, let's get to Christmas, and we see that the high pressure then builds up from the southwest. So we're having a go at re-establishing a milder westerly flow here for Christmas. In fact, for northern parts of the country, we're on the eve of Christmas Eve now, 23rd of December, and for northern and western parts of the country, it is actually turning milder as we bring up these southwesterly winds. But for England and Wales, we're still close to this area of high pressure. It's still cold for England and Wales here, probably with frost and fog, but Scotland and Northern Ireland is turning milder, and there'll be outbreaks of rain in the far northwest as well. That's Christmas Eve, so high pressure still continues to be sitting just to our east. It's centred over Germany, but it's exerting enough of an influence to probably keep particularly eastern and southeastern parts of England dry but cold, with risk of frost and fog. Northern and western areas looking milder, bringing up winds from the southwest, probably outbreaks of rain for parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland. So that's a case of the further east and southeast that you go, Christmas Eve, the colder it is. The further west and northwest you go, the milder it is. That's Christmas Day, and it looks like low pressure beginning to break in from off the Atlantic, so there's a weather front moving in from off the Atlantic here for Christmas Day, turning things wet and windy in the north and west, probably cold and dry in the southeast corner, but rain will be threatening. So this one, it's a bit in between actually. It could just about be cold and dry for the southeast, but for the north and west it is actually milder, wetter and windier. So it's somewhere between like the last update and the few updates before that. Boxing Day looks like this. So the area of low pressure in the Atlantic is having a real job to get in, actually. So we've got a weather front here that's stuck across the country. That's probably bringing quite a lot of heavy rain with it, especially to western areas. You'll notice high pressure is beginning to build over Scandinavia. Quite interesting. So there's a battle going on here between high pressure setting up over Scandinavia on Boxing Day and low pressure out in the Atlantic. We're stuck in the middle of that battle, probably with a weather front bringing outbreaks of rain. Relatively mild, I would have thought, there by Boxing Day. Let's see what comes of this battle. So we move through to the 27th of December. It looks like the high pressure over Scandinavia is strengthening and beginning to back the winds into the southeast. This is trying to draw colder air in from off the continent. At the same time, we've still got this deep low in the Atlantic that's throwing up further weather fronts. This is a real battle that's going on here now beyond Christmas. We're up to the 28th of December. There is a cold pool that is getting ever closer to us across central parts of Europe on those southeastern winds. But at the same time, this low pressure is not backing off the accelerator. So we have got a weather front that's still there. And as the cold air is beginning to get drawn in from the continent, it is possible that some of the rain on that weather front will be turning increasingly to snow. Now we move up towards the new year and things are turning even colder. This area of low pressure is being blocked by the Scandinavian high. You'll notice another low is developing across northern France. That's as the energy is beginning to give up, trying to push west to east, and it's sliding sort of northwest to southeast. So there's a front that's strung out, and it's beginning to form an area of low pressure that's developing over France. What this is doing, it's pulling in cold air from the east, so this is turning increasingly cold and wintry. You notice the winds are sort of southeasterly now, and we will probably be seeing snow, particularly across southern and western parts of the country. Quite interesting running up to the new year. So we're getting up towards New Year, and we're looking cold here. That low pressure is finally sort of dying a death as the high pressure is squeezing the life out of it. So New Year's Eve is mainly dry but cold. There will be hard overnight frost, probably snow flurries around too. That's New Year's Day, and looking quite cold for New Year's Day. Another weather front's having a go, getting in from off the Atlantic. That could be bringing some snow into northern and western areas, but primarily it's dry for the first day of 2020. Frosty and cold, perhaps with a few snow flurries around. The Atlantic is going to have another go at getting in. Let's see what comes of this one. So up to the 2nd of January now, and it looks like, yes, we're pushing low pressure back in from off the Atlantic quite easily. So there will be a band of snow moving across the country there sometime around the 1st to the 2nd of January, I should say. And then westerlies will break through. So off we go then into the first week of January, looking unsettled with more low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic. I'll run you through the first couple of weeks of January. Quite stormy, deep low pressures return. So after that Scandinavian high and colder interlude between Christmas and New Year, we're back into the westerly stuff, turning very stormy through the first couple of weeks of January. Deep low pressure diving in from off the Atlantic. That one, 13th of January, is moving into northern France. So that's pulling some cold air in on its northern flank as well. We call this cold zonality. And essentially we just keep these westerlies and areas of low pressure driving in them even into the second half of January. No sign of a return to the Scandinavian high up to the 20th of January, which is as far as we will go on this 13th Christmas update. So quite interesting, this one. It's very stormy before Christmas. We get to Christmas and it turns drier. And then after Christmas, it turns really quite cold as winds back into the southeast, and we build up a bit of a Scandinavian high. It doesn't last that long, but there are a few really very cold days there between Christmas and New Year, and snow is involved in that as well. And then beyond Christmas, we go very quickly back into that stormy sort of Atlantic onslaught type pattern through the first sort of half of January. Anyway, so suggestion of cold weather around the Christmas period. Remember, this is what we're looking for. We're not saying that Christmas Day is going to be like this is showing. We're just looking the trends around Christmas period. So that's mid to late December to early to mid-January. Looking for the trends around that period. And this is another one that's quite cold just after Christmas this time, but it is around the Christmas period. Does it from a slightly different way, some of the updates that we've seen. But again, the suggestion is there, but sometime around the Christmas period, this time it happens to be between Christmas and New Year, but sometime around Christmas period, the suggestion is there of something quite cold developing for a few days anyway. It's all about the timings, of course. It's about to happen a couple of days earlier, then, of course, it would happen over the days of Christmas itself. A few days later, it happens over the days of New Year. So, it's all about the timings, and we won't know about that until much, much, much closer to Christmas. Right, that's it for your videos today. We're going to have a 14th Christmas update on Monday, by the way. 14th Christmas update will be coming up on Monday. That's it for your videos today. Don't forget to check out all the videos that were released today. Tomorrow, it's the big one, 10 a.m. We'll have the winter 2019-2020 forecast for you. You'll be able to see what we're predicting for this winter. There'll be a live stream discussing that winter forecast on YouTube between 5 and 6 o'clock. Tomorrow evening, think that's right. That'll be the last scheduled live stream for a little while. And also we've got Tony Score's December forecast coming up tomorrow as well. So lots of updates tomorrow to keep checking back to. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.